Okay, here we are. This is February the 18th. It's about 6:45. There's been a front come through out of the north. I've went several days without having a wood stove fire. This is my wood stove. I've told all my kids that I've named the old stove Bessie. So there's been nights, that I've had to get up and feed Bessie just a little bit more than usual, but that's part of the privileges that you have when you got wood heat. I've lived up here since 1984. It's a good living. I've got one wall heater, but when it gets down below in the mid 20s and lower, we have to have the wood heat. Uh, I've done this for years and years. I pre-cut my wood. I pre-cut my kindling. I have to prepare for this. I have to usually start around September, October, and start thinking about things, for the winter months. And this is what I chose. I could have had Central if that's what I wanted, but this is how I chose. So, and I enjoy it. I have different types of wood that I burn. I like the chestnut oak. It's uh, it's a good wood. It puts off a good smell, aroma to the house, and also which I'll burn some cedar along with it. With cedar, it burns pretty hot, and the hickory also. So like I said, it kind of I burn a different variety, but what you got to worry about, you got to make sure you got plenty. That's going to get you into at least the middle of May. Uh, of all the years I've been here for 34 years, I've never seen no winter the same. So, some of them end a little earlier, some of them last a little longer, and some of them's a little rougher. We're on one of the highest points here in Wayne County. When the wind comes out of the north and we get the northern front, I believe me, I feel it up here. The wind's a howl up here, so you have to prepare for it and do what has to be done to keep yourself warm and your family warm. So, but what I've done here, we're kind of doing a little cheat thing here. I've done put the kindling in and actually give a little charcoal lighter fluid to it. So, it's a quick fix. But if I had to do it from scratch, and believe me, I have, I know how to do that too. I can take a knife and shave shavings off of a stick of wood and put a piece of cotton ball under that and light it with a match and start from just a spark up to a good burning fire. But like I said, if you got your items that makes it a lot easier, yeah, sure, that's why we're gonna go. So, all right, we're gonna light this thing up here. This is just a little spark. Yep. And as you see there, it took off pretty good. You got a bottom door, which that creates the draft, and we shut the top door. There's actually a screen bed between the very bottom and where the wood stays in here, and when you open that bottom door, it creates the oxygen to go in underneath the fire itself. And I'll hush and let you listen. Hear the roar? It's talking. And that means good. Things are going to get warmed up pretty quick. This here, it goes up into the attic area, which I have to keep a check on it, make sure everything's good. As you can see here, the old house, it was built back in 1962, and the material that come out of it actually was brought in from a old naval base in West Tennessee, above Memphis, above Milan, and where they had a bunch of barracks. These barracks was built back in World War I and established in World War II. So a lot of the structure of this house, and a lot of houses that you see that are on state property with the fire tower beside them, was built out of the old Army barracks. So a lot of times, you'll hear some funny noises and some crackling and poppings, and it's just the old woodworks kind of settling. My kids was always a little bit of kind of delirious about it, and they would say, "Daddy, we heard things." I said, "Yeah, it's just the wood settling." So, but nevertheless, I'm starting to feel heat, and it's doing very good. And I've got some, let me go get my gloves. I've got some chestnut oak and some red oak that I'm gonna throw in there and start letting it kind of cook. Things are shifting around a little bit. You just have to be careful. Anytime you're dealing with fire, you've got to be careful. You've got to be very aware of what is going on here. For 20 some odd years, I was a fire chief down here at Station 1 in Waynesboro, and I've responded to a lot of house fires. A lot of it was just accidental fires where things kind of went south, and you might have had a crack in the flue, or sometimes we had a lot of chimney fires, and that's where you get a lot of build up in what they call the crescent oak and inside the pipes, and it's just a black, thick, tar-like substance. And once it gets started burning, it's got a lot of momentum to it, and it'll burn pretty hot, and it can lead to attic fires. But nevertheless, Betsy will keep me warm tonight, and I'm gonna hush up talking, and I'm gonna add a few more sticks here. As time goes, I don't just fill it up. I let it burn gradually until I get me a good bed of coals. And once I get that good bed of coals, I'm good. I know this fire is going to be with me for the whole night. So, y'all have a good night. Take care.